Israel had walked out of Egypt as a free people, redeemed not by sword or chariot but by the mighty hand of the Lord. Yet their journey was not their own. It was to be shaped and governed by the God who delivered them. Immediately the Lord gave commands to form their identity as his people, consecrated and guided by his presence. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Consecrate to me all the firstborn. Whatever is the first to open the womb among the people of Israel, both of man and of beast, is mine." Exodus 13:2. This command was rooted in the great deliverance of the Passover night. The lives of Israel's firstborn had been spared by the blood of the Lamb, while Egypt's firstborn had fallen under judgment. Therefore each firstborn in Israel belonged to God, a living reminder that they were a redeemed people. Through this covenantal act, God bound Israel's memory to obedience. Parents were to explain to their children the meaning of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, recounting how the Lord had delivered them with a mighty hand and saying, "It is because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt." Exodus 13:8. The rituals were not empty customs but testimonies carried into every generation. The memory of redemption was to shape Israel's identity and devotion. As they made their way into the wilderness, God's leadership marked each step. He did not lead them by the way of the Philistines, though that was shorter, lest seeing war they turn back to Egypt. Exodus 13:17. Instead, he led them through the wilderness toward the Red Sea, preparing them for both trial and triumph. Carrying the bones of Joseph as he had commanded long before, Israel bore not only their possessions but the faith of their fathers. Exodus 13:19. Most remarkable of all was the visible sign of God's presence. The Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light. Exodus 13:21. This was no ordinary guide. The very God who had struck Egypt now walked with his people. In the cloud was direction. In the fire was comfort. By day and by night they were never alone. The pillar did not depart from before them. Exodus 13:22. Israel's freedom was not freedom to wander aimlessly, but to be led by the presence of God. The Exodus was not only a departure from bondage, but the beginning of a pilgrimage under divine guidance. Thus the nation of former slaves was consecrated to their Redeemer. Their firstborn bore witness. Their daily bread bore remembrance, and the pillar of cloud and fire bore the very presence of God. Egypt lay behind, the wilderness ahead, and the promise still before them. But Israel had already received the greater gift. The God who saves was also the God who dwelt among them. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more. Thanks.